You can see that big circular thing right around there where they polished it, and then they just kept going and going. You can see the tracks going all over the hood there. So the first thing I want to do here is spray a little bit of APC, like a high pH stuff, as a pre-wash to do the decon. So we're using the Kraken from Phoenix EOD as our first pre-wash, and we're just going to start foaming it. I have it on the IK foamer here, and we're just going to foam it all over the car. I have it diluted 5:1. This will take care of these bugs here. I don't know if you can see that, but let's remove all of that contaminants, and so this will be our first pre-treat. So now that we've dwelled for a little bit on with the APC, we're just gonna do a rinse. So you can see that dirt just come off. We're not agitating here. We're just doing a quick pre-wash. And you can see this car had no protection. The water just sheets off right here. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use some Apex Auto Wash from Phoenix EOD again. It's the Tropical Sunset Edition. And I got 3 gallons of water in my bucket, so I'm going to use about 2 ounces. Actually, let's go, 2 ounces should be enough. It's throw that in there. Now the next step we're going to do is we're going to decontaminate the paint using a clay towel, and we're going to remove any contaminants that's on there. Let's get to it. So next up, we've done the clay towel on there, and now I want to do some iron remover to do a final decontamination. And again, we're going to use the Phoenix EOD Furies. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray it on there and let it dwell for a little bit. Now that it has dwelled for a little bit, I'm going to take my clay towel again and put 1 or 2 sprays on there and just do a final, make sure every spot gets that iron remover. And it's hard to see if there's any contamination on this one. Usually iron removers will give you like a purple indication, but we can't see that coming up, but it is it is being spread all over the place just to make sure that we have a nice, even consistency. You do smell a little bit of that sulfuric odor. And let's go now and rinse that. And I am going to do just panel by panel, just to make sure that we have, that it doesn't dry out on the paint. And I want to do a test spot of the hood with the polishing. So we're focused on the hood right now, but we are going to do the rest of the car. And the final step we're going to do for the decontamination is we're going to use water spot remover. This is Ragnarok, the wheel acid, but I diluted it 1 to 10. So 1 part Ragnarok, 10 part iron remover acid. So we're going to do the hood again. I'm going to go ahead and spray this on there. Take a few sprays to my towel. We're just going to wipe this on there. And now that we're done with that, we're going to rinse it off before it starts drying off. So the first one we're going to try out is Koch Chemie's F601. It's a fine cut. So let's go ahead and put a couple of spots on here. We're going to do our test spot. All right, we're going to do this one right here. Spread it out a little bit. Down to speed 3. I'm gonna go do 3 passes. I don't think that will be enough, but let's see where we're at. You can see most of it gone. It looks shiny. Look at the difference. I don't know if you could tell the difference between here and there. Let's try another different compound. The next one we're gonna try is Zvizzer, medium cut. So we're gonna do 3 drops again. Maybe if I open it. A little bit heavy there, so I'll just leave it there, and then we will do this next stop right here. Let's spread it around. Now let's check out the results on this one. Very similar results. Next one we're going to do is Endgame, the compound. we're gonna do, again, I got a little bit on there. I've been cleaning the pads between each wash. And so, again, 3 dots. I'll spread it on here. Dry out the pad enough because you can see the water as I wash it between. So not sure if it's going to be a fair comparison or good comparison, but let's find out. And the final one we're going to try is Paicar. We're going to go with O2. Again, we're going to do 3 drops. Spread it around. Speed 1. We're looking at the 4 different sections, and this, I think we got water in, too much water, and that's why it doesn't look as good, because I was expecting that to have the heaviest cut because it was a compound. But having said that, these other ones look pretty good. Out of all of them, I think I like the Koch Chemie the most, the way it finished. So either this Koch Chemie or the Zvizzer. I mean, the Paicar did good too, if you look at it. But, I mean, you can see that it did correct quite a bit for only 3 passes. But they're all capable. I think you can see the tape lines are significant, and all will take off most of those. And we're not chasing perfection. We want to protect as much clear coat as we can. So having said that, which one do you want, Andrew?
These one, I say.
That one? Okay, so we're going with Koch Chemie then. All right, so next step is polish the whole car, and we'll show the results later on. So I did another trial pass on the Endgame. I didn't like the way that it turned out the first time. I had heard really good things. So I gave it an honest shot this time. I went and made sure that the pad was nice and clean and there was no extra water. And sure enough, it looks a lot better, right? Here's the end results with Endgame, and this is a 3 pass also. So yeah, you can see over here where it didn't get it, where Endgame didn't. And I don't know if you can see the swirls, but you can definitely notice them there. And it's gone over there. I just want to make sure that Endgame got its honest shot. All right, I'm gonna keep polishing this car. I'm still gonna finish with, or do the Koch Chemie because that's what the customer wanted, so let's do that. This is one of the most damaged panels on the side of the car. You can see a bunch of swirls around here. Hope you can catch those. gonna do. What I've noticed is I've needed to do 3 or 4 passes, or 4 passes instead of 3, and that extra pass is really helping out. So let's try it out. All right, now the wipe off. It is getting a little warm, so I've noticed it's a little harder to take off. But that is night and day difference. All those swirls are gone. The holograms from the previous polishing are all have disappeared. Yep, all of that is gone now. Do a little bit more there. So see a few scratches up there, but that right there is pretty good. So now that we have the car panel prepped, we've polished, decon, everything, we're ready for the final step, which is our ceramic coating. And I'm installing Kronos on here from Phoenix EOD. We're gonna do a little test spot right in this area to see how long it takes for it to flash. We're gonna prime our pad. We're gonna go heavy on here. So make sure that we're going heavy to make sure that the pad is primed properly. I'm gonna do a little section here. I think maybe I went too light because it is already starting to rainbow. Oh, you can definitely tell the difference right here. It's nice and slick, and it starts getting grabby over here with the gloves. So seems like it's on there. It's going to be a quick wipe, so passes are going to be really small. It's getting a little windy here, so I'm going to go finish the car and I'll get back to you guys later. You can see some of the jetting there, right around here. where my shadow on my finger is. You see that line right there? That is from the Kronos application. For the contact wash, I'm going to do a foam rinse foam, and instead of busting out the pressure washer, I'm just going to use this SPTA foamer. I put half an ounce of Apex, the tropical scent one, the Phoenix EOD soap, and 2 liters of water. Actually, it's more like, 2 liters. And we're just gonna foam it before our initial rinse. It's not too dirty, it's just dusty from sitting for a week, waiting for its first wash. Oh, that is slick. You can tell the difference. The glass is not coated, but you can tell the difference between hitting the panels on the glass on the slickness level. The panel is almost dry after that. You can see that water just dances right off. Then immediately almost dry. Now I wanted to make sure we got a shot of the hood here. Haven't cleaned it, but this is on a flat panel. We're just gonna put the soap on there. You can start seeing the soap starting to separate there. But it is really slick, really nice and easy to wash now. I think it's a combination of both the slickness of the soap and the ceramic coating. And the rinse off is super, super easy. Here's the end result. I think it looks pretty good. You can see that most of those previous swirls from the polishing are gone. You got nice glossy wheels, tires, and if you remember from earlier in the video, there was a big swirl marks all over the hood now. I think the car came out pretty good. We didn't chase perfection, but we did chase the improvement there. We went after the improvement. I'm hoping that the owner's going to be pretty happy with it. This project was definitely a labor of love. When I first looked at this Tesla, I knew it had all these swirls, holograms, and scratches. And it was going to take some time and patience to get it done right. I want to thank the owner for allowing me to tackle this on their car, both owners. They were very pleased, at least in my opinion, when they saw the results. And I also want to thank the community. A lot of the guys that are on the Clear Coat Confessions jumped in and started giving me advice on how to tackle this. So I'm very grateful for their help as well. As for the products, I really liked all the polishes. I know one of them didn't come out looking great initially, but it was a user error, and we moved forward from that. And but I think the Koch Chemie F06 was spot on for this car. With the Kronos, it is a learning process for that. In my environment, out here in the desert, dry weather, heat, I had to do it very quickly, almost instant. Apply and wipe off. And you just got to test it for your environment and your paint. Also, just if you're new to this, go ahead and don't be afraid to try this. I did take some precautions early on that I didn't show. I did do paint gauge thickness to make sure that I had enough paint or clear coat to play with, and was trying to be minimalistic in the amount of correction. I just wanted to make sure that it got to a good level, and I think it was just time and learning, and as you go, you're learning and adapting to what you're going through. So with this, I want to thank you all for watching. Honestly, this was the hardest project that I've worked on, and it was the most fulfilling, and I thought it turned out great, but then I'm a little biased, right? So with that, thank you again. Hope you subscribe, like, and thank you for watching.